Joining us now from the White House, the First Lady's Communications Director, Elizabeth Alexander. She also serves as a Deputy Assistant to the President. Also with us, correspondent at Vanity Fair and host of the Fast Politics podcast, Molly Jong Fast, and the co-founder and CEO of All In Together, Lauren Leader. Lauren.
Yeah, so Elizabeth, thanks so much for coming. I'm always fascinated by the way in which the roles of First Ladies, it kind of takes time for the historical world in a way to really understand their full contributions. To me, the Women's Health Initiative is one of these sort of pieces that could have really vast and long-lasting impact on the country and on millions of people. Can you help us understand, given the change of administration, are you confident that those important initiatives will remain? Are they protected in some way so they can't be rolled back? What are you hopeful for in terms of the lasting impact of that incredibly important initiative?
Well, we are hopeful that it will remain a focus of the federal government. Women's health research has historically been underfunded, and that has resulted in huge research gaps and huge gaps in knowledge. Doctors don't have the answers to provide their patients because they don't have the research or the data. The First Lady and the President have made this a focus for the last year. And since the President and First Lady launched this initiative in November of 2023, they've galvanized $1 billion already in federal research dollars and have also changed the way NIH and other federal researchers approach health research involving women from the beginning. So there has already been tremendous change. The First Lady is very interested in this topic. She wants to continue working on women's health research and advocating for more research post-January 20th. And I think she's very excited about that. Thank you so much.
Molly and Lauren, I want to ask you about something we talked about here and what you brought up pertaining to communicating the accomplishments of Joe Biden, because it's so easy to say, of course, after the fact, Monday morning quarterbacking, so I totally admit that there's a little of that going on here. But why during the campaign, why was there such a need to separate Kamala Harris from Joe Biden's legacy? I mean, if the campaign is asked a question, what's going to be different than Joe Biden? Why can't the answer be, what would you want different? He passed more bipartisan legislation than any other president in modern American history, and then you go down the list and you push back. But there was this sort of it almost felt like the campaign fell into the disinformation trap about the very presidency they should have been very proud of.
Well, sorry. I just think, look, the problem was Donald Trump ran for president for 4 years. And Biden was not forward-facing. Now, that was a choice. And then when Harris took over, she was also not that forward-facing. Now, I don't know that I think they could have been much more forward-facing. They both are really good at communicating. And also, the more you're out there, the more you're out there. What we saw with Trump was he was out there so much that it didn't necessarily matter if he made a mistake because there was so much content. And I think that is the secret.
It's such a catch-22 for her, right? I mean, she was absolutely eviscerated for responding to that question on The View about, there was nothing she would do differently. I mean, the right eviscerated her for that. And there are a lot of right-wing or sort of right-of-center folks who believe that that was actually the moment she lost the election, because it was this sense of it needing to be a change election. And it's hard to understand why Biden couldn't garner the credit that he deserved, but so much of it, that right-wing media ecosystem, the smear machine that we talked about all year, was unbelievably effective. She was in an impossible position. You separate yourself from the president, you're sort of hanging someone out to dry who's been responsible for your success and the success of the administration. If you don't, it's you're eviscerated for not being your own person. It was an impossible Faustian bargain for her.
I just think more would have solved some of those problems. They did so, more out there, more of them out there, and just out there, like the videos they did together. The campaign could have done, the TikToks that she did. She was very good in their own media, and what we're seeing more and more with electeds is that they are doing their own media, and that's drowning out some of the noise for them.
Just looking at how we move forward as well. Molly Jong Fast, Lauren Leader, thank you both very much.